Hey guys, it's Scott with Stout Sportsman. Just doing my um, LT unboxing video. I just finished filming that, so I'm uploading it to YouTube. So I figured I'd take a little bit of time and talk to the camera, mostly about our trip to Chickamauga Lake. But I'm also filming. This is my new camera. I got a Garmin Verb, so hopefully the quality is pretty good. We'll see how it turns out. Currently, Western New York, we just got 2 foot of snow, so kind of putting our fishing on hold for a little bit longer. But hopefully we'll be able to get some good fishing videos out soon. Um, you know, during the winter months it kind of sucks, but we'll get something going here soon. So just want to do a little recap about our trip. Um, First of all, like going into the trip, Matt and I were very hopeful. You know, living up in Western New York, and Matt lives near Erie, Pennsylvania. You know, during this is still basically wintertime. We don't get to fish as much, so we took a road trip to Tennessee to fish Chickamauga Lake, which is a very call it a bass factory, a very giant bass there, and we were very hopeful, and we kind of set our goals pretty lofty, and the trip kind of was a wake up call that you're not always going to crush them every day, or every weekend, or every week. Um, we didn't do as well as we planned, but we figured it out by the end of the weekend, um, and we were able to put something together and actually catch a few ones. That if you saw our day 2 and 3 Chickamauga Lake video, you'll see that we did actually catch a couple good bass. Um, the other thing with this trip was a good practice for us for recording video on the boat. Um, that wasn't my boat that we filmed on. That was my buddy Marty's boat. My boat's actually was actually sent back to Ranger for some warranty work. Everything was covered, so they just took it after the season, and hopefully I should have it back within probably hopefully in the next month, so I can start working on stuff myself as far as a few rod mount holder or yeah, some rod mounts um, for when we go out walleye fishing. We're gonna do some trolling this year. We'll get some good video of that, and also some lighting work, and also for the camera mounting. So I got a good bit of work before we get out on the water, but hopefully I'll be back here shortly. Um, but this weekend trip that we took was very good practice for recording, getting different angles, figuring out how we wanted to mount cameras, how our battery life was going to be, how our camera, our SD cards, like how big we need, and by the end of the weekend, we figured out a good plan going forward. And that's one of the reasons I bought this Garmin Verb. Matt has one that he shoots most of all his videos on. So hopefully um, this camera will do a little bit better for us. I'm probably going to buy one more of these two. Um, but back to the trip, it was good practice for us there. But then also during the weekend, we didn't see very many people catching anything at all. So even though we were struggling, it looked like everybody else was struggling. We only saw one guy, and we could tell that he was a local. He knew this one spot where he was fishing, and even though like he was catching fish for a good bit, I mean he was only there for probably half an hour on this spot, but he didn't catch anything all that great a size. 1 to 2 pounders, nothing big that he really brought in. So we didn't feel too bad knowing that we were fishing spots, we were fishing. We had a bunch of boats come up on us and start fishing the same area. So we don't know if they didn't know where they were at, or if we just we had spots that people normally fish, and we knew where we were going, and the fish just weren't hitting right. But we felt hopeful that even though we didn't know the lake very well, that other people were fishing the same spots that we were. So yeah, that's the nature of fishing. You know, they call it fishing, not catching. So hopefully some of our next few trips we'll be able to catch a little bit more. And lastly, like for our trip, it's always a fun time to get away. Um, Matt and I, we really started fishing together last year, and it's always an enjoyable time. And we hope to actually bring a lot of the what we do out to you guys through videos. Not only just our catches, but a lot of the bloopers and stuff. I guess I now have the nickname Scotty Snags, but anyway, you'll get a lot more from us than just like fishing every day. Um, so definitely stay tuned for that. Some of the future stuff we had planned. Obviously, I just said getting my boat back, so definitely have a boat walkthrough review. Show you what we normally work with. We have a few trips planned. We'll be out to Cayuga Lake and a bunch of the other Finger Lakes. Definitely doing some walleye fishing on Lake Erie, and we've been talking about doing some tournament fishing. So we'll definitely be able to show you some practice of how we set up, what we're doing as far as figuring out spots to fish for the tournament, plus some of our tournament catches. We're hoping to be able to uh, put something together and actually compete and do well, as a team. So those are kind of our plans going forward, and we hope you guys subscribe, like our videos, and definitely be bringing you some more. This is Scott, Stout Sportsman. Have a good night.